Welcome back to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're looking at The Lost Hero, Chapter 7 and Chapter 8. And we're looking through Jason's perspective here. And it starts off with Jason feeling like, man, I'm in the wrong place. Like, everything feels like it wants to kill me here. The daughter of Athena, I can't remember her name, that's with him, is like, no, you're perfect, you're handsome, you belong here. I don't know about that girl you're with, but you definitely belong here. Well, he still doesn't feel like it. Chiron ends up coming out, and Chiron says, you should be dead. And he's like, what? He tells the other girl to go away, and Jason comes inside the office. Now, Chiron's trying to figure out who this Jason guy is. Jason's trying to figure out who Chiron is. Chiron doesn't have a lot of answers, but he doesn't think Jason should be here. He's not sure what's going on. He thinks something terrible is going to happen, an even greater danger. We're not too sure what. While Chiron's talking, the whole room freezes. Oh, there's also a head of a leopard that's like freezing. And this lady comes out. She's wearing this not a leopard skin, boar skin cloak, I think. And she says, you're mine. Your father gave me to you. Free me, Jason. I can't remember if they say his last name. But he says, he's like, what? And then snap, time starts again. Oh, and Jason had stepped back, flipped up, and grabbed his sword. He moved a few steps, and Chiron suddenly blinks, and he's like, why are you in a different spot? Why do you have your sword out? Jason just tells him everything that just went on. Chiron does not look happy about this, but he still doesn't share anything. While this conversation is going on, Piper gets lifted in from Annabeth and Rachel, Elizabeth Dare, and they're laying Piper down. Jason's really worried about her, even though he's only known her for like an hour or three, but in her imagination, they're boyfriend and girlfriend, so he still cares for her a little bit. And he's like wondering what happened. They share their story about how Rachel was like, she didn't feel like it was the spirit of the Oracle, but like someone had taken over her body. And we find out that it was Hera. And so they realize, as Jason is sharing, as Rachel's sharing, as Annabeth is sharing, that Hera, the queen of the gods, has been imprisoned. Something has imprisoned her. We don't know what. It's not the Titans. But something has imprisoned her, something very powerful, and that's why all the gods are acting weird. And if Hera were to be destroyed, that would be the end of the gods. Like, they would cause disruption. Hera's kind of the bond between them. Annabeth doesn't like this very much, because she doesn't like Hera, but she doesn't want everyone to get destroyed. Jason still doesn't remember anything, and so Annabeth says, okay, Rachel, you guys got Piper. I'm going to go see if we can fix Jason's memory. She takes Jason over to cabin 15. And cabin 15 is the cabin, I can't remember the god's name, but he's the god of sleep, the god of dreams, the god of memories. And in there is the cabin leader, Clovis, and Annabeth wakes him up, and she has to really wake him up until finally she steals his pillow. But he wakes up, and he's going to help Jason get back his memories. So they go to like the dream world, and they're trying to help Jason bring back his memories. And I can't remember what happens to Jason, but they stop. And they're like, what happened? What's going on? And Jason's body was starting to dissolve, to blow away. And so they had to stop trying to help Jason find his memories. I'm like, man, what was this? What is this power? And Clovis says he doesn't know. They start talking about Hera. But Jason keeps calling Hera her Roman name, which, man, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting all these names. The Roman... Hypnos is his dad, okay, Clovis's dad is Hypnos, but the Romans call him Somnus, and Juno. Okay. Hera's Roman name is Juno. And so Annabeth is like, well, those are just like the different names of the gods, right? But they're just the same person. And Clovis says, well, they're not really the same. I mean, they're the same person, but they take on different personalities. In Hera is this way, but in the Roman way, she's this way. Hypno is this way in the Greek world, but Hypno is this way in the Roman world, or Somus. And so he's saying, like, even though they're the same, which is this part, they're the same god, but they actually behave very differently based on the names that they're being called or that aspect that they're being shown. And so they don't really understand what's going on, but they realize that they can't really help Jason find his memory, otherwise he's going to turn into powder. And Clovis goes back to sleep, and Annabeth says, I think you are serious trouble, or maybe in serious trouble. And that's how chapter 8 ends. That leaves us with some vocabulary words. First one is gingerly, is carefully. I think Jason carefully takes off the Athena's daughter's hands off of his arm. Scrunching, that's kind of like mushing or crunching. You can see your face, kind of scrunch your face. Chide is to scold or to reprimand or to say, you shouldn't do that. Okay, chide. Placate is to calm. Hey, it's all right. Relax. Reverberate is kind of the sound, to vibrate, to shake. To shake with sound, I think, is a good way of reverberate. Premonition is kind of getting this hint of the future, this feeling that something's going to happen in the future. Could be like an omen. Maybe you had a dream, and in your dream you saw something. Maybe you saw some lottery ticket numbers, something like that. You had this premonition. Dissolved, as I kind of mentioned before, means to melt. It's actually like when the atoms in your body break apart. If you have some water and you put sugar in the water, the sugar slowly starts to dissolve. It starts to break apart. And that's what almost happened to Jason when they were trying to get his memory back. That leaves us with our discussion question. If you got this much bad news in one day, I didn't mention this in my summary, but man, Jason learns about Hera. He learns his memories have been stolen. He learns that something terrible is going to happen. He can't get his memories back. It's all this stuff piling on. There's this branch in cabin 15, which comes from this river, and if you drink this this liquid, it erases your memory. And so, man, getting this much bad news, Jason is kind of tempted to just try a little bit of it to wash some of it out, because this sounds really bad. Would you be tempted? Like, if you got a lot of bad news in one day, would you want to just forget everything and just wake up new? Or would you meet that bad news head on and continue going forward? And of course, please make your own discussion question. That is all the time that we have for today. But thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.